Hi everybody, this week video will be a fingerless mitten for kids made on your SENTRO 40 needles. First find the black needle or the black hook, and then you will cast on with some waste yarn, one in the front, one in the back for the first row. And always use waste yarn that's different color than your project yarn, because this yarn will be to help to close the tube at the end. So you did the first row of casting, and then you crank. You will need at least 5 rows of waste yarn. When you're done with the 5 rows, you put the tail in the middle and you bring your project yarn. In this case, a yellow. It's my little girl who chose that color. She liked yellow and pink mixed together, so I will do some mitten for her. So she's the one who chose the color. So I have the very bright yellow. Make sure your hook hold your yarn. I will go very slowly, and when you add colors, make sure you grab the machine, grab the yarn correctly. Hold it a little bit, and never attach your waste yarn and your project yarn together, because you will be in big trouble to try to remove that at the end. I will pass a little bit faster, and I will get slower when I have different technique to show you, so don't worry. So I cut the yarn and I will do a color change. To do a color change, I put my yarn in the middle, and I will bring the yarn in front of the hook or the needle, bring it to the other one, close the same place, and then attach both little tail together with a double knot. Very important to attach it to prevent to have a big hole in your work. So now I will crank again, and don't worry, I will give you the number of rows soon on the screen. So for now, I just show how to add some colors correctly. So don't worry, you will see the recipe soon, or the pattern. I noticed that a lot of people say recipe and I start saying that too, but it's a pattern. So do double knot, and then you crank. Keep going. I will go a little bit faster after this one. So bring back the bright pink, put it in front the little needle, close to the yellow, and then crank slowly and hold it a little bit, and then attach those two together. And this is the last color change. Next step will be add some waste yarn to remove it from the machine to do a cast off. So I pull some yarn that I have on the floor. So I keep going. I put it faster. You could see the number of rows that I had, and then I come with my cast off, put the yarn in the middle, bring back the waste yarn. Make sure you put it in the same place that you ended with your project yarn. They'll tuck like this, and then you crank, and you will do at least 5 rows. When you will finish your 5 rows, your yarn, you cut your yarn and it will remove it like this. So the recipe or the pattern is 5 waste yarn, 15 pink, 5 yellow, 20 pink, and 5 waste. I repeat, 5 waste, 15 pink, 5 yellow, 20 pink, and 5 waste yarn. Hope you put that in your notebook. It's very important to keep a notebook close to your machine and a cup of water when you do some knitting machine project. So now I did the double knot, never cut too close. I always keep like 3 centimeters from the knot. So now is the time to close those tubes. So I will go a little slower. So I grab the stitch and put the tail in the middle, and I go grab one side, grab the other side, and do like a slip stitch to bring that all together. So for that project I will use that technique. If you're not comfortable with that, I will add in the video description the link with 5 different rows, different way to close a tube. So 5 different ways to close a tube will be added in the video description. If you're not comfortable with the hook, you'll be using the technique number 3 in that video. It's not the perfect one, but at least it will give you option to make some nice project without needing any hook or crochet skill. So I will continue like this. I will put that a little bit faster and I will finish it. I will always start sewing it the opposite way that I ended. You see, I have the tail of the yellow on the table. I will use that to close my line. Sorry, a little bit tired, but I want to finish that video. So I grab the other hook, the loom hook. It's always nice to have close to you, because when the stitch gets too tight, it's always good to bring it back with the loom hook. So now I will stretch it and make sure that my work is straight, because if it's not straight, you see that little stair over there, the step, I will close it and put it inside so that way we don't see it. It's not something that it will remove the warmth of your fingerless mitten, but at least for your eyes it will look better. So if you don't, it's okay too, don't worry about it. But if you want to hide it, it's a nice way to hide it inside the mitten. So we'll redo the same thing for this side. We'll close the tube the other side. My work is all stretched and straight. It's not crook, not twist. And I will close it to make a flat rectangular. Put that a little bit faster. So I grab one side and the other side and finish that with the slip stitch. One side and another side with the slip stitch. Like I said, you check on the link in the video description if you're not comfortable with a hook to close your tube. And don't forget that next week I will have a new video. I put a new video every week. And if you're still here at 8 minutes 20 seconds, can you put balloon in the comment, please? Just balloon. Could be nice to see who watched the video till 8 minutes. So close that. Make sure you get all the stitches, because you don't want any drop stitch. There, and then you will close it with that tail. There. Push it with your finger and thumbs. And voila! Time to cut the pink and remove the waste yarn. Waste yarn, one side is always easier than the other one. That's the easiest one. It's stuck with the one stitch. I will fix that. I forgot one stitch. I will get it with my hook. The hook I used was a size 4 or 5. I don't remember, but it worked well. So I lose one stitch there. I will grab it with my hook. And with the tail I will do S, closing the stitch and do a double knot, and I will hide those tail in the double layer later. So time to remove this one, and this side it's a little bit harder. I have to remove the first line of stitch, the first row, and then I will be able to remove the rest of the waste yarn. I keep the waste yarn as long as I can, but after a while they get like not easy to work because the yarn divide after a while, so it doesn't work well. So I use the waste yarn in my pom-pom later. I always use my yarn till nothing to do with it again. So I have to cut it here because it was stuck between two. It was dividing. So time to hide and do a double knot. Time to hide it in the double layer there, and go the other side. Do the same thing there. Have a little step there that I will hide there, and I will just check with my little model. My end mannequin was there, so I asked her if I could power her, and she said yes, mommy, don't worry. So time to do the mattress stitch. So you see why you have to make sure that your tube is not twist or crook, because you have to follow the same column all the way, because if you don't do that, you will have some problem with your mattress stitch. So I grab in the middle of the stitch 2 bar, and I will go on the other side and do the same thing and keep the same line all the way. See? And I don't go tight on my yarn, just in case I do a little mistake, so it will be easier to fix. And anyways, at the end you just pull on those two on your yarn, and it will close and do a very nice invisible seams. So I will continue, put it a little bit faster because I don't want the video to be too long. There, at 12 minutes. Who's still there? If you're still there watching the video, can you add in the comment the word smile, like, or a happy face? Could be nice. Thank you anyways to take the time to do it for me. It's a nice way to show me that you follow my video. So I continue like that. I will slow down when I get to keep a little room for the thumbs. So it's time to pull on it. You will see it's very magic. I love that stitch. It's a little bit long to do, but what a great result. So I will continue and do a double knot, not a double knot, but a knot, to prevent my mitten to not be secure. I don't remember the exact word I was looking for. And I will go in the pink and skip a couple of rows and go to the yellow like you see, and continue the mattress stitch. Continue like that. Almost finished. So happy I done that one, and I will have to do the other one now after this, so she will be more than happy. So hold it one side with my thumbs and finger to make sure it doesn't change the shape of my fingerless mitten. And then I will do a little knot here and hide it between the two layers after that. Right there, cut the yarn, make sure you don't cut your project. Voila, and you go on the other side, attach that tail correctly with the little knot. Push it with a finger and thumbs. I do a double and hide it between the two layers. And if you're lucky like me, you got your little mannequin waiting for you to try her new mitten. Voila! A happy little girl that's priceless. I wish you a good day. See you next week for a new video. Ciao, ciao.